Oh, hello, hello. Let's get this started. Hello. Well, hey, Sarah. Hello, Chris. Sarah got in there first. Things a little slow today. I don't see anybody else streaming. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe my screen's not updated. I know Andy was on earlier. Oh, Andy just started streaming. Oh, let me mute that. Hello. I am here. Oh, I see Andy's doing a fan connector repair. Excellent. Yes, Grass Puddle, I am here. We are live again. Okay. I do have a PS5 to repair. Have not opened the box yet. Let's see. My box cutter. I was going to put up. Just a moment. I was going to put up the listing where I got this from. Hello. Diego, hello. There's Corslug. Clorslug, I said that wrong. Hello, hello. Pushy, hello. Let me see if I can, where did I do with that? Let me show you the eBay listing where I got this PS5 from, just to give you some backstory on it. Where did I put that? Oh, that's not the right window. That's the right window. Okay, this is what we're going to be working on. Apparently, HDMI port was repaired. It worked for a while, and then it failed at some point, and they decided to replace the encoder, and then it would not turn on. So that's what we're starting with here. And I have not opened the box yet. So that's what we're starting with. So everybody knows this backstory. At least it's packed pretty decently. Got some paper wedged around it. No bubble wrap, but we've got some expanded paper, which I will reuse. Here we are. Let me get this box out of the way. Okay. Let me get back. So that's what we're starting with. Let me see. I can't see my chat window. Let me move things around a little so I can follow along here, because I can't see what's going on. All right, now. There we go. Hello, hello. But yeah, that's what we're starting with. Let me switch back. It's obviously been worked on before, probably been worked on quite a bit. And I'm guessing it's just this is going to be a case of an encoder not put on properly, or maybe some components knocked off during the previous work. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Let me turn that off. I guess I should. No, eBay. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, I forgot, he did mention there's a bag of screws in here. I was going to try to go ahead and turn it on just to confirm that it, beeps or whatever, but I'm kind of curious to see where these screws are. I know they're in a bag, at least they're supposed to be. It sounds like they're in a plastic bag. So let me lay eyes on these screws and just make sure they're not shorting against something. Screws over here. It's not sticking too well. It's been taken off one time too many. Oh, there's our bag of screws. I'm just looking at this long silver screw here. As you can see it, is that not from a Slim? That doesn't even go in this console. That long one, plastic biting screw. That doesn't, anyway. So he did mention there was a bag of screws, but it doesn't look like they're, I'm gonna go ahead and take the cover off. But I do want to put some power to it and just confirm it does beep or whatever. Nothing in there. It was not intentional. I see Andy and I started streaming again at the exact same time. That was not planned. Not planned at all. Let's just take a quick look inside before we put power on it. I don't think anything is lying where it would short anything out, but just in case. Oh, it's just kind of thrown back together. Wi-Fi cables were left undone. Oh, the ribbon cable for the Blu-ray was left undone. So this was thrown back together hastily in frustration, I'm going to guess. Somebody got frustrated. Look at the fingerprints. Ooh. There's a lot of burned flux. Is that showing up on the camera? She's been cooked in that corner. Oh, I see. They've soldered to the UART points. So yeah, they've done that. This is a EDM010. So this one's been worked on like crazy. May not be a good thing. Usually isn't. Because a lot of times components get knocked off. If a board's been laying around on the workbench, being shoved around, pushed from side to side, the odds are just good. I have not tried to turn this thing on yet. I'm going to do that. If it turns on, I don't think it's going to turn on. I'll hold it down against the APU there. All right. Does it beep? No. Does our power supply start? Just a moment. Let me get rid of all the reflections if I could, or some of them. Do we have 12 volts? Yeah, we have 12 volts. Oh, I unplugged the ribbon cable for the power button. Oops. Because I was in disassembly mode. Yeah, she does beep. No light. Well, the eject's not going to beep because I disconnected the Blu-ray drive. Yeah, okay. That beeps ever so often. That does sound like an HDMI encoder chip that is not talking to the south bridge. That's what it sounds like. Take her on out and see what the other side of this board looks like. We're missing some screws. I'm going to say we're missing the screws from the other side. Hopefully I have some of those around. That's those little pointy, sharp ones that come up from the other side. All right, how's she look from the other side? Whoa. A lot of flux. Yeah, that HDMI encoder is sliding to the left quite a bit. Let me get you a microscope. Oh, we have liquid metal spill also. Nice. Nice big spill of liquid metal. And this is, well, there's been a lot of heat in this area because this plastic or on this sponge barrier starts, starts deforming. Let me get, oh my goodness. Microscope is up. Let me switch the microscope to full so you can enjoy what I'm seeing here. Maybe a little focus. Just a little bit of focus. That's still out of, let me focus it on this ring. That's better. Well, let me slide it a little bit so you can. There, that's beautiful. That's a thing of beauty. Flash, SPI flash. Sloth Tech, hello. Grass Puddles here. Console Crafters, welcome. So yeah, we've got a bit of a mess here. And I kind of figured that it wasn't installed properly. I don't have a whole lot of time today. I've got kind of a busy day scheduled. Lots of places to go. Yeah, I don't know why that wouldn't work. What's happened to these poor resistors over here? What's happened to that one? And that one? Yeah, I don't know if I have enough time for this. Better get with it. We have capacitors that are tombstoned everywhere. Oh, what happened? Oh, they knocked off one of these. That's not even connected on one side. These differential chokes. Oh, HDMI port had not even gone there yet. Swimming in flux. And shorted between pins 17 and 18. I believe that shorts, it would short the switched 5 volts to ground, is what that's going to do. There's your problem, that little capacitor's missing. Okay. So I should probably just go ahead and take that port off and get it out of the way. And then we'll turn our attention toward this encoder IC. That's lovely. All right, the first thing I need to do is I need to clean this up before it goes anywhere. I don't want it to go like up under the APU. Okay. Now, can I grab you? And just set you right back up there. And get rid of whatever this is. What the heck? It's like a whole spider web here. Okay, that's a bit of a mess. There are many issues here. I'm looking for something to wipe this on. Get a piece of paper towel. I think I got most of it, whatever that was. Oh, there's a little bit more. We'll clean all that up. Just like cotton fibers or something. Cat hair, I don't know. Whatever, maybe the same stuff with that. Yeah, this thing, I'm going to guess was worked on quite a bit. All right, did I get that liquid metal? Oh, there's a little bit more. It's coming off the side of the barrier. Oh, there's a big chunk. See if I can pick that up. You go back there. Okay. A smaller blob. Go there. All right, what else? Oh, there's a piece of a capacitor knocked off. Okay. Get rid of that. That's not doing us any good anymore. The whole end of it's missing. And there's a capacitor that's been knocked off. Just kind of floating. Might as well get rid of that. That's not doing anything. Oh, this is back in that the area. This HDMI encoder. Been a whole lot of work in this area. Too much work. Okay, well, I've got the liquid metal hopefully contained where it won't be getting up under the APU, because I really don't want that. I don't need that kind of problem. Like I said, this plastic barrier here is folded up because of heat. They were dumping into the board over here, I'm going to guess. Man, it's a lot of flux. A whole lot of flux. Okay. Southbridge hasn't been messed with, has it? No? No, the nor has not been messed with. There's a bunch of, oh, there's a nice scratch and a puddle of flux. Pretty good scratch, although I don't see it going through any traces or anything. Something to keep in mind when, you know, it's just when a board's been worked on this much, you know, the likelihood of physical damage and random solder balls is pretty high. Oops, that one just went somewhere. It took off. And the more I look, the more liquid metal I find. This may have been the wrong board for a live stream. What the hell? Oh, there's a hole in the board there. What the hell? Look at that. Is that long screw damage? Well, it goes to a pad for a connector or an IC that's not there, so it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, but yeah, there's a, looks like long screw damage right there. Nice. We've checked so many boxes on this one. Liquid metal spill. There's another solder ball. Long screw damage. Melted port. Excessive amounts of hair. Okay. Let me, let's see if we can take this port off in just a second. Because it's shorted, obviously. Is that in focus? It's shorted, so I just want to take it off and we'll deal with it later, assuming that we get that far. Welcome, worms. Good to see you again. Hello, welcome, welcome. I don't even have my soldering iron on my hot air station. I'm just going to pop this off. And eliminate some shorts there. And then we'll turn our attention to that encoder IC. Probably take it off and see what it looks like underneath it. Try to put it back down. May have to repair some solder mask though. I don't know if I can repair that. It looks pretty scratched up. That encoder, of course, could be cooked because it's probably been heated repeatedly. Trying to get it to sit down. I'm just going to do a little, I'll go ahead and do a little prep work on these pads and mounting holes for putting the port back on later. Not too worried about the port right now. We have bigger issues. Okay. Been a whole lot of scratching around in there. Alright. Looks a little bit better. Alright, this encoder though. Let me slide back on the bench a little. This encoder is kind of rough looking. Capacitors tombstoned all around this thing. And I've got to look at some of these resistors that look they look discolored. Oh well. One thing at a time. Let's get this encoder off. See what it looks like under it. Do a little cleanup. Let's say about 425. It doesn't look like it's stuck down too well. So it may come off pretty easy. I should probably, I think I will just replace this encoder. It looks like it's had a hard life. It's just, the corner of it's busted off over here. It just looks like it's got some war stories to tell. Oh, look at all that. They tried to repair the solder mask under it. With all that solder mask there, there's no way this chip could go down. There's no way it could sit, you know, and make contact around the edges. I mean, that's a lot of solder mask. Look at that. Let's see. Is that staying in focus? Every time I look at it, it just looks blurry up there. Yeah, this kind of needs to go. It's just caked on here. Man. I don't know if I have enough time to do this. I expected it just to be a little bit, you know, askew. Not making contact on a few pads. That's kind of what I had in my, you know, in my head. Not quite sure why he did all of this. haven't noticed any ripped pads yet. Oh boy, let's see. Get this with a little bit of heat. Loosen up this flux and stuff. And there's another broken capacitor rolling around. I may have just broke it. I think it was probably right there. That's right, they're just tiny little bypass caps. We can replace those. And we have a short right there on a rail. See that blob right there? I think it may be a 1.8 volt rail, but this is two capacitors that should be sitting across these pads right here. And instead they're bridged together and shorted it to ground. So, alright, is that enough scraping? It's still awful thick right there. I don't think she'll ever sit down if I don't get rid of it. I have to get rid of a lot of that solder there too. Probably it's a bit much. What are we chatting about in chat? It's not an autopsy. What do you mean? This is a legitimate repair attempt. I mean, I have an X-Acto knife in my hand. Obviously, it's a legitimate repair attempt. Yeah, oh, that's, yeah. Way too much of this stuff. I don't think I'm going to put any back underneath the chip. Just about anything you do is going to make it, going to keep the chip from setting down. I mean, it's just one big ground pad under here. Not really supposed to be that big of a bare pad, but I'm going to guess after their 100th attempt to put this chip on, it became one big pad. All right. We're getting down to the bare necessities here. Alright, let me get rid of maybe some of this solder. It's probably not going to come up too easily because it's a nice thick ground plane. Let's just see if this wide tip on this Hako will do it. Oh yeah. Okay. I'll leave that alone. Now, what do I do about all these pads? At least they're all still there. Sorry, I'll catch this board in a moment. Let's see if we can remove this little short right here. There it goes. Maybe I can spin those capacitors around and make them sit down where they're supposed to. Maybe. Almost. The capacitor looks like the end cap's busted off of it though. At least on the side that I can see, it looks like it is. Ouch. That did not go well. And my fingers are getting burned at the same time I'm trying to do it. It's a bit of an issue. Now you let go of the other one. Nope. I'll get a hold of you. Be a whole lot nicer if you would straighten up though. And no, I won't do that. That's a little bit better. How about these other ones down through here? I was going to mess with these capacitors later, but the chip is out of the way right now. That capacitor busted. That one there might as well go. This day is done. What about you? And you? Any of you others want to just kind of set down close to where you're supposed to? I've got one there that's, we have pieces of this one that need to go, I suppose. All right, let's get rid of that. And we have one that is tombstone mightily here. Oh, so close. I think do something about that common mode choke down there. Wonder if it's still good. And it left. It's gone. Where'd it go? You're telling me it didn't get stuck in all this flux? It could not have gone far. But I have some of these. It's gone. Anyway. Meanwhile, that right there. Just a little bit of solder mask on these contacts down here, and they are going to cause a problem. Okay, get that off of there. I'm going to be trying to stick these down and trying to figure out why it won't stick. All right, what else? Okay. I am going to need to tin these pads. Get rid of that. Okay. I really would like to tin these a little. Let's see, how's this going to work? A lot of these pads are going to put up a fight. And these ground ones are going to put up a fight. The ground ones, I may have to get out the big iron for. Yeah, I might could drag across this and get solder on there, but I think it's probably just gonna bridge like crazy with this solder mask in the condition it's in. And I will tin the chip. Oh, I messed that up. Again, the solder mask not in the best shape. Not in the best of shape. Lots of grounds through there. Don't need that much solder in the middle. This gets to be frustrating after a while. In a perfect world, we could just go it out through like this and it would just land where it's supposed to. And my flux is getting cooked. It's okay. That's okay, I have more flux. I may have to spin this board around just so I can get a little closer. Just give me a little on that ground. There we go. This little Pico pencil is not meant for heating up those large ground planes, though. I could hit it with some hot air to kind of get the temperature up, give us a better chance of sticking. So the more of this I do beforehand, the less I've got to come back afterwards. And touch up, in theory. In theory. Alright, you take some solder. Nope. It took a little. No, don't short. A lot of ground pins down through here. A lot of them. Oh, quit that. Oh, clean that tip off. This is getting to be a mess in this corner. Yeah, that's not going to be fun. Not going to be fun. Let me see. Well, it's a start. All right, let me get a new chip out. I just got a new stock of these in. Should have plenty of new ones. The Nuvoton version. Oops. Get some more solder on the tip there. Probably don't need any solder in the middle because there's plenty on the board. Let me hit that right there. Would like to pre-tin it just a little though. couple of these could look a little better. Okay. Okay. That's a start. Let me clean up my mess a little bit here before I drag the board through it. All right. I have no idea if that's turned the right way because it's covered in flux. Trying to get rid of that big ball of solder right there. It's just on that ground plane. Where is that dot? I can't see a dot. There's that dot. Can't quite get it yet. Oh, I can see the name Nuvoton, which should be upside down the way I've got the board turned. So in theory, we go like this right here, don't we? In theory, something like this. What are the chances this is going to sit down right the first time? Up. Well, the chances were a lot better until it decided to do that. Okay. Not quite sure why it did that. I have my air straight from above. Okay. If it wants to be held, so be it. Ah. Did you see that? I just saw a capacitor roll up under the edge of this chip. I know I saw it. Yep, I knew I saw it. Where did it? Oh, it came from over here. And things were going so well. Come on. I'll deal with you later. Who am I kidding? I'll never even be able to find it later. Oh, there he is. Oh. Yeah, now he's gone. All right, what a mess. What a mess. try this again. Let's get lined up. Line it up so carefully like it's going to sit there. It's not. It's going to try to move everywhere. Trying to direct my air straight down. Oh, she jumped in as much as I can. I'll give it a slight bit of pressure down. Well, she's down. Now we can start working on the multiple shorts I see around it. Like there. Let's see. I'm not sure about that right there. If those pins are connected or not. No, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. Or that. Are we getting frustrated yet? Nah, just a little. It's all right, though. At least we separated that. How about this other side over here? Hard to say, isn't it? I guess the other side was fine until I messed with it. Sometimes you can't leave well enough alone. It was fine until I messed with it. Yeah, we'll have a flux removal here in a moment so we can see. And man, that's ugly. If we can get it back in focus. No, don't do that. Oh, you did it anyway, didn't you? Board's starting to cool off because I've got a fan blowing over here. So we're starting to not flow quite so well. Ugly, ugly. This I'm going to have to clean up before I can even see anything. I can see that I shorted that. All right, let's give this a bit of a clean because I can't see anymore. And all the burnt flux. So let me get ready to clean. Wow, that's ugly. Yep, that's pretty ugly. It's probably not going to look too pretty with the solder mask chewed up like it is. So, we got a few shorts. Which one do you use? Okay, that got rid of our short. Still don't like how it looks. Sorry, I'm not really reading chat right now. I'm kind of super focused on this. I'm not much of a multitasker. Yeah, I breached that. And this is kind of how it's going to go. We're going to clear one bridge and we're going to make another one. clear one bridge and make another. Rinse and repeat. Got a little too much. Oh, I've got. Where am I slinging liquid metal? I suddenly have liquid metal on my workbench. Not quite hot enough. That cleared it. And get this one over here with not a drop of solder on it. And then we make a bridge. What a mess. Yeah, this is not exactly what I was expecting. I mean, I really expected the encoder to be kind of, not down all the way on one side or something, or offset a little. I was not expecting the Hiroshima. I was not expecting that. That's a ground one there. It's not going to want to cooperate. Well, those two can be shorter there. I think they're both ground right there. I think they are. That one is not, though. Those right there, I'm not sure. Well, one of them's ground. That is ugly. Yeah, better bridge right in there, but I think that's all right because they're both ground. Got a couple of them bridges. I don't like how it looks, but of course there's probably no solder mass left between them to separate them. Guess we're missing that differential filter there. Yeah, I got that one pad there in the middle that's lacking in solder. Probably a ground pad since it looks like it's just leading to up under the chip. And of course we're missing a lot of capacitors. Which it will work without them, but there we go. That's a little better. So what do we think? Do you think it would try to turn on now? Just trying to clean that. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to try to, I'm going to check for a short on some of these rails, the 1.8 and the 0.9 going into this chip. Let's see if we've got a short. We also got these resistors over here. Got that missing. Needs more of a scrub with a toothbrush. Okay. Let's see. Do we have a short? If we check on these resistors on this bottom right corner right here, what do we have? 2K ohms, and what about over here? 240 something ohms. Well, they're not shorted. All right, I'm going to give this board 12 volts and see if we get what looks like a normal boot sequence. Because I don't think this board's been through enough yet. It must suffer. It's already suffered pretty well. Are we talking chat? Hello, Dave's Unbranded. Rory? We have both Daves here? All right. Yeah, it's looking ugly. But, I mean, yeah, when that solder mask is destroyed, it is what it is, kind of. But I could probably make it look a little prettier if I put some more time into it. Let's give this 12 volts. I get my Polarity is right. Okay, you can see the power supply. What's she going to do? Is she going to initialize normal? Is she going to hang? Let's see. 220, that's not good. We're hanging. 220. 220. Is that HDMI? Just a moment. I have gotten liquid metal all over the corner of my workbench. What is 220 milliamps? Anybody remember that one off the top of their head? I want to see what rails are coming up. I'm going to turn it on and check right here. See if this is 0.9 or not. No, it is not getting 0.9. What about this one? 1.8 here, I think. No, we're not getting either one of them. Yeah, but they're not shorted, but they're not coming up. Okay. What time is it? Oh, okay. So I'm not seeing 0.9 or 1.8. What about, because it looks like all these chips have been messed with. Every one of them. This is like the main runtime 0.9 right there. Let's look around this one right here. Which one is this one? Kind of tell by you can tell by the part number on them. You know what their output voltage is. That Y09, that's a 0.9. Sorry, I'm bumping everything. What do we have here? Is my meter even working? Because there doesn't appear to be any voltage on any of this stuff. None of it. Do we have, like, I think this should be 2.0 right here. There's the 5. Okay, we have 5.1 there. Is this the 2 volts? Yeah, 1.98. Yeah, that's there. That's all good, but what am I missing over? I'm missing a, let's see, this should be, I believe, is this 1.8 coming into this? Should put out 0.9. But then again, it's probably not getting its enable. .3 is there. What are we missing? We're not getting. Let me bring up a little diagram here to reference. Just a moment. No, the Southbridge, Roy, the Southbridge did not look to be messed with. It could have been, though. I don't think it was. As messy as the other work is, I think we would know. We would all know that it had been messed with. You'd be swimming with flux. I am looking for my my little simplified diagram of the Blu-ray, of the HDMI output, not Blu-ray. And I have the hardest time finding it because I can't remember what I labeled my own stuff. I believe it's called EDM 010, EDM 020, HDMI. Yeah, there it is. And for some reason I didn't put it under the PS5 stuff. I don't know why I didn't. Okay. So, how can I swap that? No, I want to change the window. Oh, you don't think you can do it while it's active? Bear with me here. I'm trying to switch to another window of this diagram. Being the professional streamer that I am. Here we go. Let's try this. Yeah, kind of like that. That 0.9, yeah, is right there. The smaller one. This is the bigger for like when it actually is running. That puts out, you can tell it's a larger regulator. But these two, they get 3.3. Okay. So this small 0.9 is powered off the 1.8. So if it's not there first, and this one's on the other side of the board. I'm going to guess it's getting 3.3. It's not getting its enable signal from the south bridge, though. Let's flip the board over and take a look. It may not even be on the board. Who knows? I'm going to flip it over. And hopefully not getting liquid metal everywhere. Yeah, this has been cooked pretty good under here too, hasn't it? All right, that Y18, that's the 1.8 that we're looking for. I'm going to guess we're not going to have the enable line from the south bridge for various reasons. But let's just see. I don't remember which one of these pins. Which pin is the... So pin 1 is 3.3 volts in. Pin 5 is 1.8 volts out. So this is pin 1. We do have 3.3. How about that? And pin 5 was the 1.8 out. No 1.8 out. And the enable is on, I'm guessing it's pin 3 there. Pin 3. And I'm going to guess it's not going to be there. No, it stays low. It stays low. So, we're not getting the enable from the south bridge to turn on these other rails. We do have the 3.3. No 1.8. No enable line. So, back to the south bridge do we go? I didn't think the south bridge had been messed with. Let's look at it from the side. I am spreading liquid metal everywhere. I've got to clean up this mess, or it's going to bite me later. We don't want that going anywhere we don't want. All right. If we look up under the side, this south bridge. That looks original. That looks factory. You really can't see it there. There you can kind of start to see it. But I'm going to say that south bridge has not been changed. It makes me wonder if the south bridge is what died. Let me look at a couple of resistors here. One of these carries a clock over to the encoder, I see. And one of these is like a 33 ohm, the other is like a 22 ohm. Let me see, we're in continuity mode. One of these goes all the way over here. I guess you can't really see what I'm doing. I'm sorry, let me switch. Is it this one? Yeah, I'm probing over by the encoder, I see. So that's the one that goes over to the encoder. Carries a 25 megahertz clock. 33 ohms, that's good. 47 ohms, that's fine. What is going on? There's been so much done to this board, though. There could be something knocked off. Let me look at the back of the south bridge. Oh, Lord, what is that? Why is there solder paste? Why is there solder paste on that? That's a capacitor to ground, isn't it, right there? Let's get rid of that. I'm going to have to melt it off of there. Is that showing up well for you guys? Let me just see if I can. Yeah, that's solder paste that somebody was playing around with. Get rid of that. Get rid of it there, there. Little blobs of it. Okay. Was that causing us an issue? I don't know. Clean it up a little. I was just kind of expecting to have something knocked off back here. Okay. Let me give it 12 volts again. Turn that off. Just a second. We may turn it back over and see make sure we have all the rails. Well, we can check them. Most of we can check right here. Let's see if I give it 12 volts. No, we're still at 220. We're still at 220. Which I'm pretty sure Make sure we're getting 5 volts. Now I'll get out of resistance mode. Yeah, SSD is getting 5 volts. That's fine. All right, what are we getting over here? Of course, we got our 3.3. Let me get that out of the way. 3.3, 1.15. This is 3.3. That's 3.3. There should be a 2 volt on this corner. There is. Well, these rails are looking good. I just want to see right quick, like if this 25 megahertz oscillator is running. It is running. Okay. Yeah. Although it, why does it say? Sorry, I'll move this where you can maybe see my scope a little here. If it will. There's just always so much glare with these lights I've got and stuff. I'm probing on this resistor that goes over to the encoder, which should be a 25 megahertz clock going out there. There's a clock there, but it says it's 15.8. Well, why is that? Just checking my trigger. Now there it goes. Now it's triggering better. 25 megahertz. That's better. All right, so that's the clock that goes over here to the encoder. I see. I want to make sure it had that. It comes up over here somewhere. I can't remember which one of these pins. Not that one. That one. I'll find it eventually. I say I will. With the help of the microscope, I will find it. Now, why can't I find it over here? I know it's over here. Okay. Maybe I just think I know where it goes. That's not the signal. There's the clock. 25 megahertz clock, which goes to a 33 ohm resistor into pin 66, 61, 2, 3, 4, 60. Let me get my, if I can count today. Hey, Andy. There's craft bin mine high. Yeah, I was trying to check the enable was not there. Ben, it was not there. I'm trying to figure out why it's not there. Pin 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. So it is 66. 66 is that 25. I'm trying to make sure this 25 megahertz clock is getting over on pin 66, and we start at the corner. We start at the corner at 61. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. So it's that pin right there. And I've probed that pin. No, it's not getting over here. It's not getting over here. For those of you who are just joining, yeah, this is one I bought. I can put the description back up for you. I think. Do I still have the description? Yeah. Let me close out of that. Yeah, there's the description. I knew it had been worked on. I didn't know it was this bad. .8K. There are several resistors on here that just look horrendous. And I'm trying to figure out if that could be part of our issue here. 22 ohm, that doesn't sound too far off. But this up here being 55K ohms, maybe 100K. There's just been a lot of work around the encoder. Ton of work. And I have installed a new encoder and tried to clean up as much of a mess as I can. I'll switch back here now. But there's just so much going on with this board. Which pin is that? I was trying to figure out what this resistor is supposed to be. I should know. So if we go down this side to that corner, let me look at my diagram. All right, that's pin 21. So this is pin 21 right here. Yeah, 21. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Is it pin 31? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So what resistor connects to pin 31? Oh, there's a 4.7K? Oh, there's 100K. I think that's the way. It's 100K. I think I'm seeing those two resistors. So that 50K ohm reading is probably right. That one's just not soldered down very well. It looks like though. Well, 0.2 of an ohm connection there. Is that I hope that's the right resistor. 74K ohms. Measures 53K ohms. It just looks rough. It just looks like it's been through it. I'm not sure what's been going on with this thing. But no, we don't get 0.9. We don't get 1.8. We don't get an enable line. We don't seem to get 25 megahertz over here to the HDMI encoder. I know I'm missing a filter there. I took the port off because it was shorted down here. So, but I don't really see any signs of work around this south bridge. Pretty good scratch there, but this is the power going out to the Blu-ray drive. Let me check up. Let me catch up with chat here. Turn that off. Oops. Turn that off. Turn that off. Oh, had to dig for my chat window. Looks untouched. Yeah, the south bridge does look untouched. I can connect a power button to it. I could do that. I have not looked at the UART codes. Someone else has. You can see solder all over those contacts. 220 milliamps is what it draws, which should ring a bell. I don't believe that's SSD. But there's been so much work on this thing. There's the 5-volt rail, but the 5 volts is there. Man, there's a lot of flux. I'll hook a power button up. I don't think she's going to turn on. I have a power button right here. And LEDs. Never go anywhere without them. The power is off. Let's see. Get that out of there. LED ribbon. And a power button. What more could you want? Get those LEDs flipped around where we can see them maybe. And get them over here where you can see them maybe. Of course, it can't turn on though, because well, actually, my supply won't power it. It simply will not. I can give her up to 3 amps, or actually 6 amps if I combine the channels. I'll raise the current limit up. I usually just give it half an amp, so if there's a short somewhere, I don't want to damage anything. All right. Come join me over here. All right. So if I give it 12 volts, we go to 220. And if I hit the power button, no lights. But I will see if that 1.8 is there, if you'd like. Let's see. I'm going to get on these capacitors. Well, let's see. I can check. Right there. Alrighty. Let's give it, if I can reach the power button now. This is kind of an issue. contort myself to be able to. All right. Power button. No. No 1.8. And I believe 5 is the output, the 0.9, which is not going to be there. And this is that, this should be the enable line, I believe. Nope. No enables, no lights, which kind of sounds like an HDMI encoder. Oh, the PS5 twister. Yeah, I'm missing EMI filter. We're missing a lot. Not a lot. I can't say a lot. The encoder was on there. I replaced it. But it's just really chewed up around the encoder. But no pads were lifted. Not that I saw anyway. But yeah, I had several, capacitors are missing. So several of them were just tombstone, standing straight up. Yeah, those are shorted, but those are both ground. Those are shorted. Those are both ground, though. Just don't know if that's the problem. It's going to talk to this HDMI encoder when you first give it 12 volts. It's going to talk to it on some level. I believe that's right. I'm running out of time. I am going to cook some ribs today, but I've got to go get them. I got to get them on my smoker here soon by about the next hour or so. I was meaning to have them on the smoker cooking. And I thought this was going to be a relatively quick one. I would just do it live and move on. And it's, of course, that never works out like you want it to. Tell you what I'll do, though. Let me grab, just do a little sanity check here. I'm going to grab a working EDM 010 board and take a look at the signals when power is first applied to it. What is this? This is my working good EDM 010. So I'm beginning to forget things. So many different models. Anyway, so this is a working one. Let's look. What do we get right here? If I apply 12 volts, make sure that polarity is right. Let me dial this current back down. Not trying to kill anything. And turn it on. We do get 1.8 right there. And it stays there, doesn't it? Okay. And this right here is the 0.9. You can see that? This is the, what I call like the standby 0.9. This is the main one over here when it's running. So, yeah. So that 1.8 is there all the time. Is that the same one as down here? Yes, 1.8. Yeah. So that 1.8 should be there. And it's not because it's not getting enabled. And this one right here, let me see if this is I want to see if this is at 0.9, if it's there all the time, if it's momentarily there. No, it's not there. So that must be a runtime one. So there's the 1.8. 3.3 coming in there. 0.9. So there's got to be 0.9 is going to be going in here somewhere on one of these bypass caps. Which one does it get? 1.8, 1.8, 0.9. There's 0.9. There's probably another one down through here, but these others must be runtime. 0.9. So there's 0.9 going in off this little small regulator, and of course 1.8 going in on this other corner. And I believe if we check over here on one of these pins, is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. Is it this one? Nope, it's not that one. That one. There it is. It was there somewhere. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Can you see it? I guess it's there. I thought it went away. Can you see that 25 megahertz clock? That's coming from the south bridge. And it's there. And it comes from, I believe it's, let go. My ground clip's kind of stuck. From, it's either this one or this one. Right there. Comes through that resistor out of the south bridge. And it's there. But I don't have it on that other board. This is my known good board. So I'm missing the 25 megahertz clock. I'm missing the enable signal for the 1.8 and 0.9 for like the standby mode of the thing. So does that make sense? Yeah, right. So it does sound like the encoder to me. Like it's not, and it is the encoder to a degree because the encoder is not being initialized. It's not talking to it. So, just like if you didn't have an encoder on there, if you had a broken encoder, you're just going to get that beep. So now I'm getting back to, is this the original problem this console had, maybe? Apparently it had an HDMI port replaced at one time, and then it went out again. I'm not sure. All right, this is I need to stop looking at this board. This is the good board. This one works just fine. I need to put it out of the way. It's good for making comparisons too. This is our not so good board. It's all beat up. But yeah, we don't have the 1.8, which comes from the other side. Let me look at that other side again. Which has been thoroughly cooked. Anything missing? There's our 1.8. Let me look. Yeah, the same enable line. The same enable line, enables both of these, but the 1.8 and that 0.9. So they get enabled at the same time from Southbridge Pad U6. But it does not enable them. Does not enable them. I'm missing something simple here. And I hate it when I miss something simple. but it happens. I'm missing something really simple. I know I am. The south bridge seems to be coming to life, though. I mean, drawing that much current. It's doing something. It's loading software. So there's that 1.8. If I can get this to lock. And I'm pretty sure, like, we'll have our 3.3, but we won't have our enable line. There's our 3.3. No enable line. It's not just a bad south bridge, is it? That's too simple. But it is not. It is not enabling it. It's like not even trying to talk to that encoder. It's like it never gets to that point. Like I said, someone has read the codes on it, which is probably what I will be doing next. You can see somebody has soldered to these points. Well, no, you can't see. Let me switch back. Turn that off. Well, I can look at it. Someone has obviously, connected. Although I'm not sure if they connected to the correct pins or not. Somebody has been trying to read some UART codes. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one. What time is it though? We may have to continue this one at a later date. Because I've got to get my food in the smoker. Because it's going to take 6 hours to cook. So, shall we continue this later? I apologize, but yeah, it's going to be nice. Chloroslug is going to be some good ribs, but I got to get them in there, or it's not going to be done in time. But hopefully we can continue this at a later time. Let's see. I'm trying to think. We might continue it tomorrow morning. I've got to work tomorrow afternoon, but we might pick this back up tomorrow morning if I get an early start. Earlier than I did today. So, yeah. Let's plan on doing that. We'll try to continue this tomorrow morning. And, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, okay? So we'll figure it out. Maybe, yeah. We'll get there. We'll see you tomorrow. I've got to get these ribs on the smoker. Otherwise, I starve, and no one wants that. I am so close to starvation. But thank you for all coming by. But we'll get there. We'll figure it out. So thanks for coming, everybody. And look for me tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. Central Standard Time in the U.S. 8 a.m.-ish. And we will go back at it again. All right. I've got to go to the grocery store and find some ribs. Hopefully they're not sold out. Bye for now. See ya.